Hello everyone, and welcome back to Merryvale, where it is always Christmas. I want to thank you for joining us today for our video. Fall is in the air. It is now early September, and when I woke up this morning, it was 62 degrees. So fall is coming to northern Alabama, and that is both exciting and nerve-wracking because not only is the weather cooling off and it's going to make it easier to work out here on the property, but in just a couple of months it's going to be Christmas season. And so I don't know if you all realize this, but we are now in the Burr months. And so, you know, September, October, November, December, and in the Philippines they are already celebrating Christmas. Mrs. Claus and I have been watching those celebrations with excitement and getting ready for the upcoming season. But I can tell you that that as we approach December, my time available to come out here on the property is going to be less and less, and so I've got to make the best of it. By November 1st, the season is in full swing, and we're already doing things like photography sessions, and we're booking fall and winter birthdays and all kinds of things where Santa and Mrs. Claus might make an appearance. Our calendar is starting to fill, and so if you're thinking about booking Santa and Mrs. Claus for your event or for your party or for your winter wedding or for your corporate event or company party, you need to get those bookings in quickly because the prime dates are filling, and some of them are already full. So hopefully I can fit you in if you're interested this year. That being said, with the limited amount of time that I'm going to be able to spend on the property, especially in November and December, things are running smoothly at the North Pole. I can tell you, we've got a smooth operation. There's no need to worry about Santa being too occupied down here with his southern North Pole outpost when I've got a whole contingent of elves and so many helpers getting ready for the season. Now, on to more pressing matters. I can tell you that, well, you may remember the last time at the end of my last video, I had been trying to punch into the area on the property that I plan to build Mr. and Mrs. Claus's southern home. And I ran into some issues. You know, I have a smaller tractor. It's only a 25 horse tractor, and was trying to punch in with the brush hog, and I ended up getting stuck. And thankfully I was able to get unstuck, but I think I needed to regroup and figure out what we were going to do to get through there with the equipment that I have. Also, I got the septic permit filed with the county, so we should be getting approval for that pretty soon. In the meantime, I think what I want to do today is I want to continue to try to get through that area and punch up there where I can clear a path to the septic area, and then also start working up there. I needed to regroup after I got stuck last week, and so this time I brought some additional tools. I've got my chainsaw, I've got a weed eater. Might have to go in the old-fashioned way, but I'm also thinking I might try to use some fill to smooth out a path into that area. Other things I got to do today is, you know, I gotta mow what I've already cleared and make sure that stays cleared for a while. And you saw when I was coming in on the property this morning, there was a log down in the driveway area, so I've got to clear that, and just lots of little things. And also, again, I want to try to punch through there. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today, but eventually I need to punch the other direction too and try to figure out how to create a path out to the west side of the property so that I can get to the road, and that's where my power line hookups are eventually going to be. You know, an interesting story came out this week in the local news that occurred right near where this property is, and it turned out there was a person who got a snake bite while out hiking and was bit by a venomous snake. The latest I had seen is that they were being treated locally, and they were doing okay. But it was a pretty harrowing incident apparently, and not far from here, right here near the Bankhead National Forest is where I am. And so, you know, it's something I got to keep an eye out for. I don't see a lot of venomous snakes at the North Pole, if you know what I mean. And so, you know, the three main types of venomous snakes in this area that I am aware of are copperhead, cottonmouth, and timber rattlers. And so I've got to be careful. And I'm working on getting some more snake-proof clothes and boots and things like that. But it, you know, a little bit at a time. One of the things that that is concerning about something like that is I am approximately 45 minutes from the nearest hospital. There is a local town near me, but they just had their emergency room closed this year. I'm not sure what the reasons behind that were, but I believe it was some kind of funding or some sort of agreement. But hopefully the local town finds a way to bring that back, because they're only about 15 minutes from here. But Santa's working out here all by himself. And so if I get injured, or if I get a snake bite or something like that, and I am unable to drive, I've got a long wait before people can get to me. You know, the elves are busy at the North Pole, and so I don't have a lot of helpers down here right now. And you know, they're all kind of laughing at Santa and thinking Santa's off on his off of his meds or something. But you know, they don't understand why I'm doing this. You know, at 1755 years old. But you know, it's something that I've always wanted to do. And but let me tell you some of this story. It was a very harrowing rescue. September 5th, just a few days ago, actually occurred on Thursday, September 4th, approximately 3 p.m. The local sheriff's office was notified via 911 of a venomous snakebite incident in Bankhead National Forest. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Office search and rescue team was immediately activated. Upon arrival at the trailhead, deputies met with a family member of the victim who had hiked out to call for help. Search and rescue team leader, Lieutenant Long, who is EMT certified, along with members of the Sheriff's Office search and rescue team, hiked into the forest, located the patient, a male in his early 30s who was experiencing symptoms including vomiting, swelling, and abdominal pain resulting from a snake bite to the lower leg. An IV was started and initial medications were administered on site. ALEA Aviation provided air support for communication between the search and rescue team and the command center. However, the extraction helicopter was unavailable due to maintenance. Additional personnel were paid to assist in the complex rescue operation, made even more difficult by nightfall and rugged terrain. The patient was successfully extricated from the forest around 11 p.m. and transferred to an emergency helicopter, and from there he was able to get to a hospital. You know, the sheriff's office was notified at 3 p.m. and the search and rescue team was not able to extract him until 11 p.m. This is a very remote area. So thankfully, they were able to get him out. They did not identify the individual, but this individual is in Santa and Mrs. Claus's thoughts and prayers. I hope that they have a quick recovery, and I hope that all of you out there who are who know the true reason that Santa comes every year for the season, you know, I hope that all of you are praying and keeping Santa in your thoughts and prayers, Santa and Mrs. Claus, as we work on this project, that we are safe and hopefully I don't run into any venomous snakes. I know they're around. I'd be crazy to think they're not. But so far, I've been very lucky, and they've steered very clear of Santa's tractor. So, but today, I get to go into the woods, and I'm going on foot. So, I got to be careful. Just watch my step, I guess. Santa's never dealt with venomous snakes before. We'll see what happens. So, I saw a small deer coming into the property also, and just checking some tracks since we had some heavy rains the other night. Got a small print right here. You see about compared to my hand. That looks to be a deer track, but there are some big canine paw prints again. I wish I had a trail camera to see what we're getting, but let me show you some of these. Here's a small animal. I don't know what those might be. That's about the size of a silver dollar. Looks like it has 3 toes, two small ones right behind it. I'm not sure what those tracks are. It might be a little bunny rabbit, or there's some more right there. And look at that track right there. You can see it next to my glove for scale. That is one of the smaller canine prints that I've seen. Now look at the size of that one. That one is almost as big as the palm of my hand. It's definitely got the claw marks on the tip of each toe and a very large pad. And there's dozens of these around this area. I really wish I knew what it was. I got to get some trail cameras out here so I can see. But I know some of you guys are experienced at identifying tracks. I'd love to hear in the comments what you think they might be. Give me some insight on what I'm running into here in North Alabama. Okay, well, I got all the mowing done to take or reclaim everything that I've cleared so far, with the exception of that real rough part over in the field. I think now I'm going to take a short break and then start thinking about how I can either punch through to the stream on the west side of the property or punch through to the septic area. I have some interesting new fauna that I've discovered while I'm here today. So I've got these purple berries. These are native to the south, I believe, and apparently they're edible. I've not tried them, but we saw some of these when we were buying the property last fall and winter. Our realtor mentioned that these were edible. See if I can get an identification. American beautyberry. Non-toxic, not considered a weed. Looks like it's native to the southeastern U.S. It is a perennial shrub. I have to look into that later. Saw a nice branch of persimmon over here a little while ago. See if I can find it again. Oh, there it is. Yeah, look at this tree right here. Persimmon are fruiting, and it is loaded, so much so that the branch is on the ground. Not quite ripe yet, but getting there. I have a lot of persimmon on this property. At least I've seen a lot of young persimmon anyway. This one's not that old, but I have no idea how old, but probably 10 years. It's got some nice fruit on it. My dad loved them. The neighbors would come and pick them. I know the seed in the persimmon supposedly will predict the winter for you. If you split a seed open, it usually has one of 3 shapes in it: spoon, a knife, or a fork. And apparently, depending on the shape, it will predict what type of winter you will have. I don't remember which is which, but probably find it on Google, I'm sure. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to try to cut at least a walking trail to the area where we did our perk test, so that the county health inspector can come out and find the hole and the field as it was marked and get that approved. It's not very far off this road, but it is kind of dense, so I'll get my pole saw and my chainsaw out, and we'll start with that. Oh, I'm thinking the chain on my chainsaw needs changed. Might be dull. Well, it looks like I found the spot. But I cut my twine, which wasn't intended. So I didn't mean to cut that. Now I gotta find the other end of it. Geez, this is even worse than it was 2 weeks ago. There's my flag. There's my hole, one of them. Alright, there's the twine, here it is. So I gotta tie this off, tie it back together anyway. What a mess. All right, well, that's progress, folks. I was able to get everything mowed that I had mowed prior, so reclaimed that, and then I was able to cut a trail, although it's a foot trail, to the septic field for the county health department to get out here and approve the application for a septic permit. And that just about tuckered old Santa Claus out. You know, now I have a path, although it's a footpath, back to the septic area. I can probably start to widen that out and maybe use that to get into the area where I want to build and start clearing some space out of there, hopefully with the tractor, although it's really rough right there. It's going to take a lot of work to just cut that smooth enough to be able to get the tractor back there and start working. But, you know, one bite at a time, right? Anyway, if you like this kind of content and you can share it with your friends, that would really help us out. We're very close to having 100 subscribers. So if you like this content and you know somebody who might, if you like working the land and you like Christmas, or one or the other, this would be a great channel for you to follow. We're really starting from nothing here. So, but anyway, guess that'll be it for today's video. Please like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one at Merryvale, where it's always Christmas. Take care, everybody.